Alright, finally back for another stream. Let's make sure audio is all good. Okay, mic audio sounds good. Let's see how it sounds with the truck running. Alright, yep, seems like we are all good. And of course, as I'm looking around getting everything set up, my camera in the game's going to be freaking out because I now have Track IR. So this is going to be my first time streaming with Track IR. That'll be a little interesting because, as you can hear and see, every time I look over at chat, I think my head's going to lean far enough out the window that it's going to make noise. But I guess we'll see. Either way, hopefully it's not too incredibly annoying. Daniel, good to see you here. Thanks for stopping in. Let me see if my my splitter thing is working, and it's not. Don't know why that happens with my my shifter attachment. I have to turn it off once I'm in the game and then turn it back on. So, sorry, give me just 1 second. Oh shoot, I don't know if I remember which one it is. Not that one. Okay, I think it was that one. Alright, and then we gotta hit F1. Now does it work? No, still doesn't work. Okay, so maybe it wasn't that one. Our first bit of technical difficulties. Hang on just a second. Let's see here. Let me make sure it's actually... I wonder if it's actually not even plugged in. That would be kind of funny. Okay, how about now? Alright, now it works. Now I hope whatever else I turned off and turned back on also still works. Okay, pedals still work, steering still works. That's the important stuff. Alright. So we are good to go. Get the head tracking reset. Let me check my phone. All good. Alright, let's go ahead and get a load set up. We're going to do external market, and again, we are continuing the Cruising Nebraska event. So, that one's too short. That one's also too short. And that one is super, super long. So, maybe let's teleport to somewhere else and see if somewhere else has something better. Because I do not want to drive all the way to Kingman, Arizona today. So I'd prefer to just stay in Nebraska the whole time if we can. So I think we'll just there's a little photo spot over here. So we will essentially quick travel over to there and then get the photo challenge, and we can use that as the thumbnail when I re-upload the live stream later, so that kind of works out. Oh, I don't know if I'll be close enough in that spot, or is it just this? Oh, it's this stuff. Okay, so yeah, I guess I probably won't be close enough plopping it over here, but I'll still plop it over here anyway. And then boom. A bomba. Alright. Let's see what we have for the external market here. This looks a little bit more promising. Alright, that's too short. That one is pretty good. But I was hoping to take something to one of these places. These are all to Kansas. Is there anything else to Nebraska? Scottsbluff, which I've already delivered to. All right, Daniel. So far, you're the only one that's said anything so far. What do you think? Should I teleport again to somewhere else? See if I can find something to one of these places, or should I just take one to like Phillipsburg, or I don't really want to go to Hutchinson. That's a little far. But I could go to Scottsbluff. I don't know if is the Cruising Nebraska, is it just 12 loads, or does it to completes a delivery to or from 12 different cities? Ah, shoot. I don't know what the 5 cities I've already done are. I wonder if there's a way to check. I don't know if there's a way to check. Okay, well, whatever. I guess we'll just do. I like the idea of going to Scottsbluff. That way we stick with Nebraska. So you know what? Even if this doesn't give us any credit for cruising Nebraska, at least we will still be cruising in Nebraska as opposed to driving down to Kansas. So we're going to take it. We're going to take some cables from Norfolk to Scottsbluff. All right. And I do have the truck on 18-speed manual. Oops, I gotta turn off my UI. That's gonna annoy me. There we go. I do have it on 18-speed manual, so I guess we'll see how this goes. Me trying to as we've learned from the videos that I've uploaded of me working with manual and trying to talk, me doing manual and trying to talk does not go very well. So hopefully today won't be too bad. Alright, and I just realized I've only got one headphone in. Let me put in my other headphone. That way we get some solid audio here. And we don't end up with any double audio. Man, this is such a good sounding truck. Oh, I love those Jakes. Alright, and I do still, I try to use the Jake brake and downshift as much as I can, but I do occasionally still throw it in neutral and coast to a stop. Again, I'm learning, so one step at a time. And I guess I didn't really give a proper intro, because I still gotta get back into the flow of things, but welcome to the stream. We're back in American Truck Simulator, and we are back streaming. This is our first stream since 1.47, so I don't know how long ago that was, but quite a while. And it's funny because that stream was the thumbnail said I'm back, so clearly that was also my first time streaming in a while before that. So yeah, streaming has not been too much of a thing on this channel in the last year or so, but hopefully we can kind of get back to it, because what happened was when we got Orion, our other dog, made it a little bit harder to stream because he was such a rambunctious little lad. But now we're in a bit of a different living situation. We still have Orion, still have Phoenix. They're both doing wonderful. But we're in a bit of a different living situation now. So now the dogs are separate from where my gaming setup and everything is, so that makes it a little bit easier to stream, which is nice. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get back into streaming. I love the kind of like freedom and like ability to make mistakes that I get from. Wow, we've got a lot of traffic. Oh, and I killed it. Okay. There we go. Anyways, I love the freedom both in creativity and in the ability to make mistakes that I get from recording and editing as opposed to live streaming. But I also love getting to interact with people and actually like feel like I'm hanging out with somebody when I stream. So that said, again, Daniel, thank you for being here. And if there is anybody else here, feel free to stop by the chat, say what's up. I appreciate you being here. And yeah, this truck, I agree. The truck sounds fantastic. And yeah, I'm super far back from the light. I can also say that I've never seen this much traffic without like a mod or something. And I don't think I have it bumped up in the config file, but I might have it at like 2. I could check, but I don't want to do that at this very moment, so maybe I'll do that in a little bit. But yeah, I think maybe I did bump it up to 2, so maybe that's what it is. But still, this is a ton of traffic. This is weird. Definitely realistic, and again, thankfully gives me a chance to look at the chat and say hello and respond to you, Daniel. So it works out. But yeah, see what I mean? Whenever I look at the chat, my head turns to, in the game, because again, I don't have, I was looking before this stream actually to do a chat overlay on the screen, so that way you guys both would be able to see the chat on the screen, and then also I would be able to see it without like looking over at it like that. And it seems pretty easy, but just for the sake of today, I just didn't really have the time to get it all set up. I just really wanted to stream today, so rather than take that extra time, I figured I'd rather just worry about it for next time and just get the stream going today, get back into the flow of hanging out and talking, trying to do manual and reading chat and all that kind of stuff. Oh, that's 5th. There we go. I agree, Daniel. Chat. I agree, Daniel. The traffic on 1 just really doesn't. It's just so unrealistic. It's kind of painful, and I do know that there's a bunch of mods out there for traffic, but every single mod just seems like it adds too much traffic, and the config file, changing the config just so that it's like 2 or something, I feel like makes a huge difference. And I know I could bump it up more than that, or do like 1.5 or whatever, but I feel like 2 is a pretty good balance. And I am still double clutching, in case anybody was curious. Again, oh, that's not the right button. I am hoping to start learning to, oh boy, my brain is all jumbled. What am I trying to do here? Oh, that's not it. I forget all my buttons. There we go. Wanted to change my info screen so that it showed the cruise speed. But sorry, my brain, I'm just totally spacing on what I was talking about. Daniel, feel free to remind me what I was saying, because I totally forget. Oh, I think I remember. Even though you haven't said anything that I can see yet, I was talking about shifting and double clutching instead of floating gears and stuff. Yeah, no. You're right, Daniel. Yeah, I'm wanting to learn double clutching because in truck school, that's what they teach you, and for your driving test, that's what you got to do. Oh, that's where I got to pick up from? Right there? Okay, I guess I'll just pull to the right here and then should be able to back in. They said that, like, realistically, you know, you're going to float gears. You know, pretty much every trucker floats gears after getting their license, but you have to know double clutching for the school and for the drive test. But I have made a couple attempts to float gears, and I think I just need to be better at shifting first before I want to start trying that. So yeah, we're going to keep double clutching for now. And let's see, how are we looking on this side? We're a little close to the grass, but that's okay. So once I do get better at just shifting in general and like knowing what gears I should be in at what points and everything, then I'll start trying to float. But for now, we're just going to double clutch and not worry about it too much. Alright, I'm obviously not backing into exactly the right spot, so this will at least give us a chance to get a better setup than what I had. So we're just going to leave it there and then pull forward. And then that should give us the opportunity to pretty much back straight in. There we go. Get our head turned around here. Probably gonna go a little further. There we go. Alright, that should be good. Get the truck turned off, and we'll get loaded up. Alright. And how good am I on fuel? I'm at like almost half a tank. Alright, let's kind of take a look at our trip here. So again, we're going Columbus to Scottsbluff. And it looks like, so we're going to pass a fuel station here. I might stop and get some fuel. And then we do drive by that photo spot that I was wanting to get, so that's sweet. I'll be able to pause and get that photo that I was looking for. And then we basically just make our way down to Interstate 80 and take Interstate 80 all the way. Oh, no, not all the way. We take it all the way to just past North Platte. And then we head on up to about head on up to Scottsbluff from 26. So nice and simple drive. Looks like a lot of the driving is on 80, which is, as you can see by all the yellow, pretty much all I've done so far. So I definitely do hope that once we get to Scottsbluff, maybe we can find something that heads up this way. If we got to change trailers or something, then I will. I really do like the look of the Kenworth W900 with the flatbed. But, I mean, if we got to change it to be able to get loads to other places and actually be able to do the Cruising Nebraska event, then got to do what we got to do, you know? So, I guess that's enough yapping. Let's go ahead and get to doing some driving. And actually, I think, is it about to be nighttime? What time is it in game? It's 7:50. So, you know what? We are going to, when we stop to get fuel, we're going to also go to sleep. So that way we drive during the day. Because I don't feel like driving at night would be very entertaining to watch. Ooh, almost stalled it. I forgot that I've got a load on now. Oh, I almost shifted into low instead of second. That would have been bad. Wow, speed limit's only 25 here? Really? Okay. Yeah, I agree, Daniel. I love the new W900. It's funny because all of my fellow truck enthusiast friends all thought that it was ridiculous that I preferred aero trucks over the like trucks like this, long hood trucks. And oh, that person, oh, I thought they were letting me go. They were not. But it was mainly just because like I couldn't get the W900 to look how I wanted it to. But now that they've got that accessories pack DLC, I bought that, and now I'm able to make the truck look like exactly what I want it to look like. And now this is by far and away my favorite truck. I absolutely love this truck, and I will drive it very, very often, I'm sure. I've already driven it, I think, more than I've driven any other truck so far, because I have a very bad habit of driving a truck like 1,000 or 2,000 miles and then just like giving it to one of my like crew members, and then next time I want to drive that same truck, like let's say it was a Freightliner Cascadia or whatever, next time I want to drive that truck, I just build a new one. So this is the first truck that I've actually like stuck with for longer than just a couple trips. I think I've done like 6,000 miles with this thing or something, and I know that's not a lot, but again, because of my bad habits, that's the reason it's only 6,000 is the most. I know there's other guys that like literally got one truck from the start of their time playing the game and have only ever driven that, and they have like hundreds of thousands of miles on their truck, and I'm like, that's just crazy. Makes sense, it's more realistic, but I guess I don't. I play this game for realism, but not on the side of having a realistic number of trucks and stuff. It's the same as like Forza, you know, like in my... Oh, I just accidentally stepped twice. Dang it. Alright, well now I guess I gotta sleep a third time. Oh well. It's a good thing I'm on an external contract, because otherwise I would have been late. And then from here, now, we'll just, we'll set the time to like 5 a.m. instead. Alright, whoopsies. It happens. Alright. And yeah, sorry, Daniel, I went on such a long tangent from your first part of your comment that I didn't even address the second part, but I do also hope that they do the same with the 389. That would definitely be much appreciated from me, and I'm sure many other people in the American Truck Simulator community. And I'm sure it's probably in the works, but I don't know, I guess it all depends on what Peterbilt wants. But yeah, that is also true that it'll mess with all the 389 mods, and everybody will throw a big fit about that, I'm sure. I mean, they do, even when there's game updates, everybody hates the game updates because it breaks all their mods, but I mean, games gotta progress, people. That's why I'm very happy that I learned how to mod from Jeff, because, oh, my headlights aren't on. I'm glad I learned how to mod from Jeff, because Jeff basically taught me how to make my mod in a way that is essentially update proof. I mean, obviously it's not 100% update proof, but I don't think I've updated that mod since 1.42, and it still works. And it still works the same way it did when I first released it. Sorry, when I'm doing a lot of shifting, I'm probably not going to be talking much, because I'm going to be so focused on making sure I don't over-rev or miss a shift or whatever, so I apologize if I suddenly go silent. I also definitely got to get back into the swing of playing a game while also like reading chat and being able to respond to what's being said there, so I apologize, Daniel, to you and anyone else that may chat on my lack of responding or how long it takes or whatever. I know you understand, Daniel, but just in case anyone else is in here, I apologize in advance. Yeah, I saw that video too, Daniel, about them doing the walk around on the 589. I'm definitely, I've got high hopes that that'll get added to the game soon. That'll be sweet. I know they've been doing, they've posted quite a few, like dealership visits recently. So I've got a feeling we've got a lot of new trucks on the horizon. And I mean, I know back in the Christmas stream, obviously back in December, they had announced a new Mac that's coming, and possibly like an electric Volvo, I think, that's on its way into the game. So a lot of cool stuff on the horizon, but I'm sure it's going to take a while. That was one of the things that they mentioned, is they were like, hey, we're going to show you this stuff, but just know that like it is nowhere near being implemented into the game. We basically, like, we just got the licenses, we just got the 3D models, and we've got a long way to go before it's going to be in the game. So yeah, definitely don't expect it anytime soon, but I am excited for it. I'm going to go ahead and pause like I said I would and get this photo trophy. Again, I think I mentioned it in a previous video. I don't go out of my way to get the photo trophies, but if they're like along the path, or I can kind of make them be along the path without adding a bunch of extra time, I do want to get them. So, ooh, whoops, I didn't mean to unpause yet. Yeah, I agree. Jeff is awesome, both as a friend and as a mentor. He is a blessing to the world and to the American Truck Simulator community. I would certainly not be where I am without him. He has been a huge help. Alright, and of course, as soon as I get through all the gears, we're shifting back down. Oh, must not have pushed in the clutch enough. Oh, dang it. Man, I'm going to have to shift all the way back down. Oh, that was rough. Oh, man. Missed my shift. Oh, it doesn't help that I still had my engine brake on. Gosh, missed another one. And once again, I'm going to shift through all the gears and then have to make another turn. So, that's a bit unfortunate, but... yeah, Daniel, I definitely try my best to pay attention to the streams, just because, I mean, this is the one game that I play pretty consistently and am pretty invested in. This is by far and away the most played game I have. I think I've got like 1,400 hours, something like that, in this game, and I think my second most is like 700. So, oh man, I gotta shift down further. Again, I apologize for all the terrible shifting. We're working on it. That's why I'm doing this, is so that way I can make all these mistakes now instead of when I get into a real truck. But yeah, there's quite a few different trucks in the works, so it should be pretty cool. And then there's a couple other features I feel like I remember them mentioning that have not been implemented yet, so it'll be interesting to see those make their way into the game as well. And then yeah, the electric Volvo, I believe, I don't think they actually said the name. I think they just showed it, but it did look like the VNR. So I believe that that is, in fact, the electric model that they're working on. So that'll be cool to see in the game, even, again, if they do it the same way that they did in ETS2 with that Renault. It'll still be cool. You know, I'm not somebody that would probably want an electric truck in real life, but again, like I was mentioning earlier, like a video game is the chance to try a bunch of different trucks, drive a bunch of different things that you maybe wouldn't necessarily drive in real life. So I'm excited to give that electric truck a go once they do add it. Yeah, Daniel, like you said, right now it's only usable through the quick jobs. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they do implement, like once you can own it, it'll be interesting to see, sorry, looking down at my phone real quick. It'll be interesting to see how they implement like recharging and all that. Like I'm assuming what they'll probably do is have it be similar to how like you rest in the game, you know, where you just go to like an activation point and then you hit enter and it just advances time. I've got a feeling they'll probably do that. It'll just advance time and then your truck will be charged, you know. And I'm sure they'll probably work with Renault and Volvo and all that to determine like actual recharge times to make it realistic, or at least I hope they do that. That would be cool. But yeah, for now, even though it is only available for through the quick jobs, I feel like that's the perfect workaround to the fact that they don't have the infrastructure for it yet. I feel like that's the perfect way to still get it in the game and not have it, you know, be an issue of you know, having it be unrealistic where, yeah, okay, here's your electric truck, you don't ever have to charge it, like it's just always running and you're good to go. You know, obviously that wouldn't be a very good way to do it, I don't feel like. So I shifted up into 8 high too soon, I think. I think doing it this way still keeps it realistic, but also you know, allows it to be implemented into the game before it's entirely ready. So yeah, I'm certainly hoping that the American Truck Simulator will get a similar thing, because again, I'm excited to try it. I saw a lot of people that said that it had like instant torque, of course, you know, like it does in real life. A lot of people were saying the instant torque is super weird and you know, interesting to get used to. So I want to give it a try, but I don't have ETS2, so I have to wait until American Truck Simulator gets an electric variant before I can actually give it a go myself. So I'm certainly interested to see it. So yeah. Well, Connor, I'm sorry to hear that you're working, even though I already knew that and have already said that I'm sorry you're working earlier today. But I hope you do have a great day at work, and thank you for stopping by the live stream, even if you can't stay. Do appreciate it. And I'm assuming that third like was you, so thank you for liking the stream as well. And speaking of which, Daniel or Connor, if you're still here at the very moment, is the stream looking okay? Is it all smooth and everything? Because I remember on my 1.47 stream, it started lagging like crazy, and I thought it was the stream that was the issue, but it actually ended up being the update, I think. And so I want to be sure that that actually was the case. Stream's going great this far. Okay, perfect. I just wanted to be sure, because again, when I streamed last time, it started lagging pretty bad, so I quit, and then I went back into the game and it seemed to run smooth. So I wanted to be sure that it wasn't actually the stream that was lagging and it was the game, and it did appear that it was the game, but I haven't, again, that was the last time I streamed, so I hadn't confirmed since then. I hadn't done any test streams or anything, so again, glad to hear that that is the case. And when recording one of my videos, I missed this video checkpoint So I want to get that while I'm passing it today, and I can. And it gives me a chance to see the archway from this end. I haven't actually seen it yet. Again, I've driven by it quite a few times, but is the viewpoint in here? Or is it the next? I think it's the next one. Oh, I gotta shift down. Or split down. There we go. Oh, and missing a shift again. There we go. Yeah, there it is. Okay. This is the one time when having the realistic icons makes it a little bit annoying, is because I have to find the find the icon. It's not quite as easy as seeing a giant glowing green box. Alright, and I believe we are on it. So go ahead and put on the parking brake, shut the truck off, and let's check out this viewpoint. That is pretty. I wonder what the actual like purpose of the archway is. Like, is it just a tourist attraction and that's it? Or, I mean, I see it's like a bridge across the interstate, but it doesn't really seem like there's anything on either side of the interstate aside from the rest stop. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Oh, I guess there's a walkway to like a little park, so I guess maybe that's the purpose of it. If you're not on the side that the park is, you can use the archway to cross and then go to the park. That would make sense. It looks pretty. Park looks really cool. I'm assuming this is probably about what it looks like in real life, so that'd be worth parking and walking across the interstate for. I can see now why they built the archway. Yeah, definitely, Daniel, I agree. Their attention to detail with the environmental design is top notch, and especially, you know, with the scale that they're working with. I mean, like, once they did Oregon, like a place that I knew pretty well, and could actually get a better feel for the scale, really made me appreciate more just how hard their job is, because man, they are working with a very, very compact scale. It's pretty crazy. So the fact that they can still make these states feel so, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, the states still envelop you, you know? You still really get a sense of what the state is actually like and what the environment is like. You know, every single state feels different. And the fact that they were still able to accomplish that despite the fact that the scale is so tight is very, very impressive. Again, for anyone that's watching that doesn't know the scale of the game, it is 1 to 20. So that means every 1 square mile in the game has to be equal to 20 square miles in real life. So that is a very, very dense and very, like, crazy ratio of compression. So it's pretty impressive that they can still do this. And of course, there's still people that aren't satisfied by it, and I understand that, because again, when I do go to like drive through Oregon and I drive through an area I know, I can understand the frustration that it's like, okay, yeah, I just drove from one place to another that should have taken, an hour and a half or 2 hours like it does in real life, and in the game it took me 5 minutes. I can understand the frustration of that, or the frustration of, oh, well, they didn't put this city in the game, and that city has a ton of industry. They should have put that in the game, I can understand that frustration as well, but I still have to say that with the scale that they're working with, they do a very good job of including important landmarks and all that kind of stuff. Thank you for those of you that are dropping in. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for the likes as well. Glad to have you guys here while we're cruising across Nebraska. Feels good to be streaming again. Again, it's been a while since I've done a stream, And as much as I do love recording, like I mentioned earlier, I love recording because it gives me that freedom to make mistakes and stuff. I really do love being able to do the live stream and actually be able to chat with you guys and hang out. It's a ton of fun. So yeah, glad to have you guys here hanging out. Man, I will always despise the fact that with the external contracts of any kind, external market, external contract, whatever it is, I will always despise the fact that we get limited to 65 miles an hour. I hate it. It's so annoying. And again, I know it's kind of realistic because in real life, they'll limit your speed. In some company trucks and stuff, you get limited to 65, but I'm technically not in a company truck, so I'm an owner-operator. I should be able to go as fast as I want. And we got our first way station coming up. Fingers crossed that we don't get stopped, but I can almost guarantee that we will, because it seems like it's just my luck that I get stopped every time. Oh! Okay, pleasant surprise. We did not get stopped. We actually got the green light for once. It's the luck of the stream as opposed to recording. Whenever I record, every single way station is red. But I feel like when I stream, I seem to get lucky and get a lot of greens. So hopefully that'll continue. I guess I gotta knock on wood now, so hopefully I didn't just jinx myself. I mean, I guess with being limited to 65, at least I'll get better fuel mileage. There's a bright side to everything. I think I was just talking with somebody yesterday. I think it was either like my brother or my mom or maybe both. But I was talking with somebody yesterday talking about how like I'm definitely a glass half full kind of person, and the reason it came up is because so I'm an Amazon delivery driver. I do DOT regulated box trucks, so I do XL deliveries. And we have this issue with our system where for like 2 weeks, all of our routes are designed by AI. I guess I got to preface with that. That's important to know. So they'll roll out an update to the app, and the route will be great. It'll make perfect sense. We'll go in order, like from west to east or like northwest to southeast or whatever. Like it'll make sense. But then we will they'll roll out an update to the Flex app, which then screws up the AI for some reason. So then for 2 weeks, we'll have routes that are just completely screwed up in every single way, shape, and form. We'll be like backtracking. Whoa, we're coming to a stop, I guess. Oh boy. Anyways, we'll be okay. Well, of course, this is gonna make it hard for me to talk, and this had to happen while I was about to get into a story, I guess, is the point that I'm making here. It seems like that always is the case. Whenever I start a story, because I'm like, oh, we're going to be cruising for a little bit, then something happens, and then it messes me up, because then I try to focus on shifting instead of telling the story, and then I forget the story that I'm telling. So I got to remember I'm on the story of the routes with work. Okay, I think we're good. 6 through 8 are not too bad. But anyways, so yeah, so they rolled out an update and it completely screws up the routes. So now we've got routes where we're backtracking a bunch. Like my route on Tuesday, we went to the same place, like the same general area of the city that we were delivering in 4 different times. And between that, we drove like 45 minutes away from the city. So it's just weird stuff like that happens and then it'll be like this for like 2 weeks, and then they'll roll out an update to the app and it'll fix it again, and it'll be fixed for 2 weeks, and then the cycle goes on and on forever apparently. So it's super weird and super frustrating. And then the other thing along with it, along with backtracking, is also the AI is supposed to take into account like business times. So if a business is only open till 5:30, they try to put it kind of near the beginning of the route so that way you get there before the business closes. And they also take into account like scheduled deliveries, because we have scheduled deliveries sometimes, so they'll usually be like 2 to 5 or whatever, or 8 to 8, so 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And the AI is supposed to take those things into account. Well, again, when they roll out these updates and it's screwed up for the 2 weeks, it also screws up all that. So like all the businesses that close at 5 or 5:30 or whatever, all end up being like the last 10 stops. So then you get there, and of course the businesses are closed, and you're not able to do the delivery, and that is also super frustrating both for us and for the customers. But I guess the whole point of all of this story is that all of my fellow drivers are all super pissed because they're like, dude, I'm backtracking a bunch, we're doing all this, we're not able to make deliveries and all this stuff. And like, my whole thinking is, one, I do this job because I love driving, so me having to backtrack a bunch of times just means, oh boy, I messed up on the brakes there. Sorry about that. The whole backtracking and all that basically just means I get to drive more, so I'm not upset about that at all. And then, oh, of course I'm not going to be able to see the light. Can I lean down further? Nope, I can't lean down far enough. Alright, we got to go to the exterior camera. So I don't mind that. And then also, like, if you're not able to make a delivery, like, okay, I can understand that it'll be upsetting for the customer, but I don't see any reason for us to get upset over it. I mean, it actually makes my life easier, because then I don't have to do the delivery. You know, I don't have to get it unloaded from the truck, carry it to their front door and all this kind of stuff. Instead, I just have to unload it back into the dock at the end of the day. So that's significantly easier than having to, because, you know, when you back up to the dock, you just put it on a dolly and slide it right on out and it's fine. Whereas when you actually are delivering to a facility, you have to take it out of there, and then you can still dolly it, but, you know, you gotta take it out, bring it to the ground, and then put it on the dolly, as opposed to just dollying it straight out of the truck. So, yeah, that was all just me talking about being a glass half full kind of person. Is that, yeah, I have been very much looking at the issues at work in a glass half full kind of way, as opposed to all the other guys that I work with that have been looking at it in a glass half empty kind of way. And I don't even remember how the whole glass half full or half empty topic came up, but here we are. And sorry, Daniel, I saw your comment earlier, but I was so focused on telling my story that I just, like, didn't acknowledge it. But that's crazy that they just mandated that all trucks have to go 65. That's that just seems really, like it's not low necessarily. 65 is pretty fast, but, like, if you're delivering all the way, like, out in the middle of nowhere, you know, and you've got a big straight stretch for miles and miles and miles, I don't see the need for a 65 mile an hour limit. Like, if you're on a big straight stretch of road, let trucks go like 75, 80. I mean, I don't get it. But maybe it's because I haven't actually driven a real truck yet. But, like, even our box trucks, like, we're limited to we've got, like, a camera inside the truck that uses AI and stuff to, like, check speed limits and all that kind of stuff. And so we're limited to this. Oh, whoops, I just used the splitter instead of the range, and definitely just blew my engine. Not actually, because the game doesn't do that, but had this been real life, I for sure would have just blown my engine. So, whoopsie. But yeah, so we're limited to the speed limit, and here in Oregon, the highest truck speed is 60, I believe, or 65 maybe. So same kind of thing. And yeah, there's, like, Eastern Oregon. There's so many areas in Eastern Oregon that are just, like, flat nothingness for miles and miles and miles. And it just seems so ridiculous to limit trucks to 60 or 65. And I'm glad you got lost in the story too, Daniel. That makes me feel a bit better. gotta sit back up. I was starting to slouch a bit. Not good for my back, and not a good habit to get into before I even actually start driving real trucks. I definitely think I'm short shifting a little bit. My bad on that. Man, we've already had 35 people stop in here so far. That's cool. I'm a little bummed nobody else has said anything in the chat, but, you know, I have, up until I started streaming, I was very much a person that would watch streams but not say anything. So if you are that person that's watching right now and are too scared to say anything in the chat, don't worry, I don't blame you. It's fun when you get to talk to more people, so, you know, if you are somebody that's watching and is thinking about chatting, just do it. I promise I don't bite. I'll just be happy that you said something. But yeah, 35 views so far. That's pretty solid for the first stream back. I'm happy about that. We've only got, looks like 3 people watching at this very moment, but, you know, I mean, again, 35 that have stopped in is still pretty sweet. That's crazy, Daniel, that you got, like, hilly roads and stuff like that, and the speed limit's still 75. But yeah, I guess that does make sense that, you know, before you go up a huge incline, you're gonna want to pick up some good speed so that hopefully you can carry it up the mountain a little bit. I've caught myself doing that even in the box truck, which is only like a GVW of 20,000 or something like that. Or no, not even that. I think 14,500 pounds. And I still catch myself like being like, okay, I better pick up some speed here if I want to make it up this hill. But to be fair, those trucks are also quite underpowered. Well, that was lame. We went down to like 45 miles an hour for like 10 feet. And then immediately went back to 75, so I had to downshift for basically nothing. I gotta say, I hope you guys are getting a good look at the scenery and a good enjoyment out of it, because I've been so focused on shifting and just trying to drive that I have not been looking at anything at all. So I apologize that I'm not like looking left and right and stuff and showing you guys the landscape. So hopefully you've still been able to see it enough. Yeah, Daniel, that makes sense that you're still losing some power with the car going up the hills too because of the air density. That makes sense. I've definitely had my fair share of my car struggling to go uphill. My daily is ooh, we're coming to a stop, I guess, or maybe not a stop, but definitely slowing down quite a bit. Anyways, my daily is like maybe 100 horsepower, so man, that thing going up hills and stuff, it's a super small car, but even still, there's a hill in Newburgh, or coming out of Newburgh, that man, my car would just have a terrible time getting up. And I'm so thankful that car is manual, because I could just downshift and kind of power through it, but man, it was still rough. I mean, that car did not have a good time with those hills. Man, I just keep missing my shifts. Started the climb at 80 miles an hour and then end up at 50 by the end. Yeah, that sounds pretty close to what I deal with in my car too. It's pretty rough. Alright, we should be getting pretty close to our destination. Yep, 24 miles, we are almost there. And then hopefully we'll have something to a state that or a city that we haven't been to yet. And we will cross our fingers, and if not, then maybe we'll just, we might even just do an external contract instead of an external market load, rather than change trailers and all that. Alright, now it looks like I need to be in the left lane, because I think we're making a left up at this intersection up here, and then it looks like we're delivering to this, like, big grain facility, I think is what this is. Oh boy. I definitely still have to work on slowing down. I am struggling with it, and once again I cannot see the light. Oh, and of course my light's green. Oh boy. My light's probably red now by the time I actually got all that figured out. Was that truck using its Jake brakes? I'm pretty sure that AI was using its Jakes. It certainly sounded like it. Huh. I wonder if that's like a new thing, or maybe I'm just tripping. Oh, and of course we got a stop sign. Oh, and we're actually not delivering to the grain facility, we're delivering behind it. Alright, and it looks like... Oh, this might end up being a blind back. Although, I could probably turn around inside the facility. I did not swing wide enough for that corner at all. But I can probably turn around in the facility and then not have to do a blind back, because I definitely don't want to. Okay, I don't know about necessarily like turning around, but we should be able to like back the trailer kind of into the space and then pull forward, or I don't know, we might just do a blind back. Might just say screw it. Let me look at the chats real quick. Planning on renting the truck. Gotta move stuff that wouldn't fit in the trunk, but yeah, that probably would have made things a bit easier for you, Daniel, but you know what? Sometimes doing things the more difficult way is more entertaining, so I don't blame you for not renting the truck. This might be more difficult than I thought. Alright, let's stop for a second. Let's see how we're doing. Okay, definitely gotta get under it a little more. Alright, and once again, this is my version of getting out and looking. Alright, so I think now if I start to straighten it, that should get us set up pretty good to be able to pull forward and then not do a blind back. Yeah, alright. Sweet. That was like a perfect setup. Just about, at least. Make sure there's nothing. Okay, there's that truck, but I'm far enough away that I'm not going to hit him. Alright, we're almost all the way there. And that should do it. So let's get back in the truck, put on the parking brake. Oh, I didn't have my flashers on that whole time. I only had my blinker on. Whoops. I meant to have my flashers on. Alright, let's make sure that we're good. And we are. So we'll stop. And that is a successful trip, aside from all the times that I stalled and missed gears and downshifted too far and, no, I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding, I guess, but I'm kidding of making a big deal about it. So yeah, no damage to the trailer or anything or truck, so that's sweet. Let's see what the current company job offers are. Nothing. Sick. Show nearest. Let's see if we got anything here that is worth. Oh, Alliance? Dang it, it's less than 100 miles. Bummer. And then the next one to Nebraska is Grand Island, which is far. Bummer. Maybe I will just take the load to Alliance anyways. And then from Alliance, I'll take a load that's of more than 100 miles. I'm thinking we'll do that. But before I do that, let me read your chat real quick. Ran through some puddles or streams of water that had my steering wheel jerk a little one way. Yeah, living here in Oregon where it rains 9 months of the year, that happens very, very often. It is not a fun feeling when you hit a puddle that doesn't look like it's going to be that big, and then it turns out to be very big, and your steering wheel like practically gets ripped out of your hands. Not a good time. A few butt clenching moments. It was pissing rain that day, so I should have chilled out a little. All in good fun. It made for an interesting drive. Yep, that's I would have to say that's probably my favorite thing about the fact that it rains here all the time, is that it does certainly make the driving a bit more interesting, you know, makes it a bit more of a challenge, you know. Eventually you get used to it, but especially like when I still drove the Altima pretty often, that was, you know, lowered and everything and on summer tires and stretch tires and all that, driving through the rain and through puddles and stuff was, well, it was exciting. We'll put it that way, you know. Hitting a puddle and then suddenly being on the other side of the road is certainly interesting, we'll say. So, yeah, that had a couple good moments there. All right, let me check my phone real quick, and then I realized I didn't post anything on like my Instagram that I'm live or anything. So let me go ahead and do that. We will continue our journey. So I guess for the time being, I'm going to put up the Be Right Back screen since we are just chilling. I'm still going to talk and read your chat and stuff, but we'll be right back as far as the game goes. So just gotta. I'm trying to get better at this whole Instagram stuff. And we'll probably stream for like another hour, maybe a little longer. So hopefully That'll bring in some people. I don't know how to properly I don't know how to properly like add a link to an Instagram story. Let's see. Oh, I think I figured it out. Yeah, I figured it out. It's through the stickers. All right, there we go. Not that I think there's anybody that follows me on Instagram that isn't subscribed to me, but you know, still gives something for my Instagram content. All right, and then let me just check on my dogs real quick. Just via my camera. And it looks like they're both sleeping. Sweet. All right. Now with those things out of the way, let's go ahead and get back to streaming. And we're up to 4 likes on the stream now, so thank you for the likes. They are much, much appreciated. And like I said, we're going to go ahead and deliver to Alliance. And then from Alliance, we'll take a load somewhere that's more than 100 miles. So again, this one isn't going to count towards the... oh, whoops. Sorry, forgot to switch back to the appropriate screen. So this one isn't going to count towards our Cruising Nebraska thing. So funny enough, the first 2 deliveries, probably more than half the stream, and we're not even going to do anything that actually counts towards Cruising Nebraska, but it's what it is, I guess. Okay, come on, gate. Open. Hello? Where is the, did I maybe I'm like in front of the trigger. Which would make sense. Alright, let's go. Let's swing out this way. And then swing back and see if that triggers the gate to open. Yep, there we go. Yeah, you shall not pass. Swift was trying to hold me hostage, trying to get me to take a job here. Let's see, am I going to clear that, or am I going to pull a Swift at Swift? Nope, I'm going to clear it. Alright. But now the question is, am I going to clear with the trailer? It certainly doesn't seem like it. Oh, it's going to be close. Let's see. What am I looking like in front of me? I know I'm on the curb already, but do I have anything else I'm going to hit? Not really. Okay, so we're going to see if we can make it without having to back up. Okay, I think we're good. Yep, we're good. All right. So we just got a short drive over to where our load is. And then we'll pick that up and we'll be on our way. We got some cars coming, but they're a ways back there. I almost did it again. I almost hit the split instead of the range. That would not have been good. And it looks like our load is somewhere over here. I guess we'll go ahead, let's throw on the flashers, see if we can figure out where our load is. Sounds like we got a train coming by behind us too, so we just got in front of that. And we're loading up underneath the silo. Interesting. I wonder which direction that is. I guess it doesn't really matter. I'll just pull into it and hope that's the direction. And if not, I'll come over here or over here maybe and just turn around and then get facing the correct direction if that isn't the correct direction. Yeah, definitely an interesting loading spot. Are they just gonna like dump grain onto my flatbed? I'm a little concerned now. And I think we'll also get the suspension raised up a bit since we're on dirt. Just so I got a little bit more clearance because this truck is pretty low. Let's see. Are we good? Might just pull forward just a little bit more. Alright, then let's check the UI. And I must be facing the wrong way. Either that or I just need to pull forward a tiny bit more. Oh, just need to pull forward a tiny bit more. Okay, cool. I am happy about that. Oops. There we go. Oh, I just tried to hit enter, but I gotta turn the truck off first. Alright, so now they dump the grain onto my flatbed, and then we're good to go. Just kidding, I don't even remember what it was. Oh, almond boxes, that's right. Yep, one of the new cargos. So that's pretty sweet. Man, that is such a good looking truck. Now just look at it aired out though. Oh, God, I love this truck. Okay, back up though, because don't want to bottom out. Trying to get out of here. All right. Let's make sure we don't hit any of this stuff. And we are on our way. A short little trip over to Alliance, Nebraska. 44 miles, so not a very long trip. And then hopefully we will get one more pretty good sized trip in from there. One or two more. I'll probably be on, I don't know, maybe I will be on longer than I thought. I think I might be on for like another hour from now, or hour and a half from now. So we'll see. Depends on when people start getting home. clear in both directions. Got a little bit of a tight corner, so we're just going to swing way out here. And we just beat the train once again. Alright, and I'm not actually going to stop at this stop sign because it's clear. I don't want to have to start from a stop again. Because I'm lazy. Oh, and there goes our suspension resetting. Oh, buddy, if you're gonna... You lucky. You lucky. I was just about to say, if you're gonna get in front of me before these lanes end, you better hurry up. And then he did, so... I'm glad that he at least got out of my way. Just another day dealing with AI traffic. Honestly, I wouldn't even consider that an AI traffic thing. That happens in real life to me all the time, even in a box truck. In a box truck, I get people that are trying to fly past me just because they don't want to be stuck behind me. But then I usually end up going just as fast as all the vehicles in front of me, and then they just look like an idiot. So, but at the same time, there are certainly times where I'm like, man, if you hadn't passed me, you would have been stuck behind me for miles and miles and miles, you know? So it's probably good sometimes that they do crazy stuff like that. And again, at least this guy and most people in real life do, like, when they realize they want to get in front of you before the lanes end, they go for it. I mean, they, like, floor it and make sure that they are well past you before they get over or whatever. But, yeah, I have noticed that I don't know if SCS hasn't mentioned anything about reworking the AI or anything, but it definitely seems like the AI has gotten reworked. It seems like, at least in a minimal way, maybe they've gotten a lot better with merging. There's still certain areas that they're not the best at it, but for the most part, they actually, like, because remember, they used to come to a complete stop. The people in the lane that was ending, they would come to a complete stop, wait for it to be completely clear, and then they would merge over. Whereas I've noticed that lately, at least in the newer states, like Nebraska, Kansas, you know, Texas, all that, they actually will keep their speed up and then merge together. So they've definitely gotten a lot better. I think, though, still in certain areas of, like, Oregon in the map and stuff like that, they still don't. They still come to a full stop first. I'm guilty of doing that too. Yeah, I understand it, but it just, as the person driving the vehicle that is getting past at the last second, sometimes it's kind of frustrating, you know? Oh boy, I'm missing every gear. There we go. Especially if I notice that the box truck already has a line building up behind it. Yeah, that's definitely a very valid reason to want to get by them before the lane ends. Or if you already have been behind them on, like, a 2-lane road or something, and you're like, okay, I've got this, like, one short chance to get past them, I better take it. That's another reason where I feel like it's definitely valid to do it. Alright, so we are now in Alliance. So like I said, this was just a super short trip, and now we will hopefully have a delivery that is more than 100 miles from here, because this is a place that we haven't been to yet. So basically, as long as we deliver here to anywhere, this will count towards our Cruising Nebraska trip, or Cruising Nebraska event, which is good. That was the whole point. Alright, and I think I didn't know if I was supposed to turn in there or this next driveway, but it's this next driveway. Alright, and then this one may be a little bit of an interesting back just because it looks like it's going to be kind of tight. It looks like we're going to be, like, at least for the setup. The setup's going to be a bit tight. So we're already up against that there, and then off to the right we've got the train tracks, and we're pretty close to those too. So oh man, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. There we go. So we'll see how this goes. I'm just gonna have to make sure I keep a close eye on my right side here. So I think I'm actually gonna stay in the interior cam for now and just turn my head kind of back and forth. So basically, I just need to get the trailer at least a little straightened. I can always readjust. So I'm definitely, I got a little too far into, I jackknifed it a little too far. But that should be okay. No, I guess not. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm basically gonna turn it into a blind back, and I don't want to do that. So let's pull back forward. And then we'll straighten out a little bit. And now we'll go back again. And this time we'll focus on just getting underneath the trailer. Okay, got too far underneath it, but that's okay. Better than not getting underneath it at all, like I did last time. Alright, and then that gives us a little bit more of a straight shot into it, so hopefully this will get us into where we need to go. Because now we're clear of the scale, and yeah, now we're also clear of the tracks. And I might have to do a pull-up here, but maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. That looks pretty good. I'm definitely a little far over, but I think the game will still take it. Let's see. Yep, game will still take it. Sweet. Throw on the brakes, turn off the flashers, and turn off the truck. I'm usually okay with being behind a slow truck, especially if I'm by myself and have music at full blast, then I'm happy. Otherwise, just don't have the patience. Yeah, I definitely feel you there, Daniel. Yeah, if it's a day where I'm like, you know, even if I'm on my way to work or whatever, like if I know I'm gonna make it on time and I got my music going, like I'm chilling. I don't care how slow I'm going. I don't care how much traffic there is, like whatever, you know. But yeah, if I'm running a little late to work or whatever, man, I am gonna be in a hurry. All right, so we just need to go. Oh, dude, come on. So this one's not enough distance, and then this one's like, one, it goes to Colorado, and two, it's way more than what we need. So I guess we'll just take this load to Omaha. I mean, that's a pretty long delivery, so that'll probably be this will probably be the last delivery that we do on the stream, but I mean, at least it keeps us in Nebraska, and again, since we are leaving from Alliance, it's going to count towards the Cruising Nebraska event, so I'd say that's worth it. So just zoom by everyone, as Mazda used to say. Yeah, I miss those commercials, and they're like slogan. They don't really do it in their commercials or anything anymore. All right. Yep, we're gonna. Well, let's see. What else is there? Is there anything else? Nope. Yeah, all right. I guess we'll just take the almond boxes. So again, we're doing another load of almond boxes, and this time we are going to go to Omaha. So I think, again, I think it's going to be a lot of the same same stuff that we've already seen, but it is what it is. Oh, it's not going to show us yet. I forgot. It's not going to show me until I actually pick it up. We do. I think we're probably going to start by going across 2. So we're actually going to get a lot of new territory until we get to Grand Island. Oh, and then I haven't actually... I must have spawned myself in Omaha, but I guess I haven't actually been to Omaha yet. So I guess that'll work out. This will actually work out very, very nicely. So let's go ahead and drive. Start the truck back up. Let's check to see what time it is. It is 5:07. So after we pick up our load, we'll probably find a spot to take a rest, so that again we can avoid driving at night. They're not catered towards... Oh, yeah, not since they started being catered towards families and crossovers. Yeah, now that they're catering to those groups, they probably don't want people to zoom. Gone are the days of the Mazda Speed 3. Yep, that is true. Unfortunately, Mazda has really stopped making anything that's cool. They're turning into the next Mitsubishi. Unfortunately. Another one bites the dust, as they say. Alright, we should be good to go after this guy. Yep, still clear that way, so we are good. And I way over-revved that. My goodness. Whoa. I just run something over? That was weird. Oh, maybe it's just the new, like, road textures thing doing its thing. I bet a lot of people got some strong words for Mitsubishi. Yeah, I'm sure. I know I certainly do. Can't believe they killed their only cool car. We're just not in the glory days of vehicles anymore. Like, we are getting some cool new vehicles, but even the cool new vehicles are getting killed off pretty fast. Like, they just announced that the Supra production is going to stop. So that didn't last long. What, like 4 years, 5 years or something? I guess that's not bad. Oh, shoot, I didn't split. There we go. Yeah, definitely a relatively short production run in comparison to what non-sport vehicle production usually does. I mean, think about the Camry. Camry's been around for decades. You know, any normie vehicle usually sticks around for quite a long time. And again, I know it's because they're, less expensive and bigger market and all that kind of stuff, but it is still a bit sad when a cool sports car hits the market and it dies in just a few years, especially one like the Supra. People had begged for years and years and years for the Supra to come back, and then they did it, and like hardly anybody bought them, So, definitely a bit of a bummer. Yeah, I definitely don't think that they did themselves any favors by partnering with BMW for it. Because, I mean, I'm assuming a lot of people didn't buy it just because they basically could just buy a Z4 instead, but I don't know. It's hard to say. Alright, we're going to back up to the... We literally have yet to have a single normal... Oh. Wait. Oh, shoot. That's not where I'm supposed to load up. I saw the cones, and I thought that was my loading spot. But it's not. Alright, hang on. Where's our actual loading spot? Oh, it's over here. Dang it. That's so funny. I was like, oh, this is a pretty good back, and it's a weird loading spot, but, you know... We're doing pretty good, and then I saw that forklift, and I was like, wait a second. So, whoops. The icon mod strikes again. I once again got bit by it today. Alright, I think to back into this spot, I'm just going to drive on the dirt. I mean... Gotta do what you gotta do, right? I'd rather do that than have to do a blind back. I guess my point does still stand, though. The point that I was going to make, as I realized I was backing into the wrong spot, is that we have yet to have a single normal loading spot for a flatbed. Like, once again, we're backing into, right? Did we back into... Yeah, we backed into a dock. So, once again, a super weird spot to load a flatbed, but whatever. Not completely uncommon, but still weird. Let's see, real quick. Understandable, I think everybody holds the 90s generation in high regard with the 2JZ. Definitely. Definitely, the 2JZ was a lot to follow up from. And, yeah, I think everybody just had their expectations a little too high. Yeah, I agree, Daniel. I think that is almost certainly what everybody was expecting, and when they didn't get it, when they basically got a rebadged BMW and BMW engine, everybody was like, dude, what? This is not what we asked for. This wasn't what we wanted at all. Alright. So we'll set a stop for this, or a navigation point for this rest stop, because again, we don't want to be driving in the middle of the night, so... We will drive out to there, get some rest, and then continue on our journey during the day. Alright, so here we go into some new territory, and... we're going to have a photo trophy spot coming up here. So gotta make sure I get that as well. But first things first, we got to get across this road. And it is clear, so that's sick. Oh, I missed my shift. That's not sick. Also, there's construction. Also not sick. Oh, at least our light's green, though. Oh, never mind. It is now red. So we're going to be waiting here for a minute. That's okay. Gives me a chance to, again, read the chat and stuff. Some folks buy it, and I see a few kicking about. Yeah, the person... whose house we live at, she actually has a Supra. So, excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry that you had to hear that. I probably just blew the mic out. I didn't. I tried to reach for the mute mic button and I totally missed. So I'm so sorry that you had to hear that. I hope I didn't jump scare anybody too bad. But yeah, so they're definitely about, and they're definitely pretty fun cars. I mean, I feel like the people that did buy them or get them, really enjoy driving them. So I think it's just that people weren't willing to give it a shot because they were like, yeah, it's half BMW, I don't want it. But I feel like the people that gave it a shot really did get a solid enjoyment out of them. Oh, shoot. Oh god, I hope I don't miss my light because of my terrible shifting. Okay, we made it. Man, this poor truck, dude. I'm missing like every single shift. But yeah, I definitely agree, Daniel. It's very similar to seeing the new 400Z on the road. They're kind of few and far between, especially depending on your area. Like, I'm sure in California there's probably a bunch. They're probably everywhere. But here, there's not a lot. I'm sure it's probably still more than what you see. I think I see probably like one a week, maybe. Aside from obviously the my roommate's Supra, but yeah, aside from that, I see like one a week. And thank you for blessing me. I appreciate it. Oh shoot, I forgot to get the photo trophy. Gosh dang it. Oh well. I got so focused on talking about cars. It happens. Yeah, I had a feeling it would probably be more than what you see. And again, it's probably more than what most people see, but it still is not a lot, all things considered. Like, for its price range, that's the same as like seeing I think it's a similar price range to like a new S650 Mustang, like a GT, the GT variant. I see those all the time. I see at least 2 a day. And those literally just came out, whereas Supras have been out for years now, So it's definitely a little sad that there wasn't more people that bought them. Alright, it's a good thing we're coming up to rest at this rest stop up here, because I think I need some water. My throat's starting to get a little dry. I agree that they're common for good reason. They are pretty sweet cars. I've always been a fan of Mustang, and the new S650, dude, they knocked it out of the park. That is such a beautiful car. Beautiful car, great engine. It is good to see that there is, ooh, what am I trying to do here? Okay. Oh, man, I lost all my momentum. Alright, there we go. We're good. The GTD version is very, very cool. That is probably one of the coolest Mustangs, I think, in my opinion at least, that has ever existed. Of course, it is absurdly expensive, but, I mean, it's pretty cool. So, I don't blame them for making it so expensive. Alright, we'll fill up with some diesel here, and then we'll go over to where all those other trucks are parked. We'll back up and get some rest. And I think what I'm going to do actually from where I'm at now, just because of my angle, I think I'm going to back up out of this fuel island instead of pulling through. Oh, shoot, I killed it. I'll get better at this someday. You know what they say, practice makes perfect. Oops. I thought I was in reverse and I was not. Wow, that was such a terrible back. What am I doing? That was atrocious. That still was not great, but better. I think I'm technically in the middle of 2 spots, but I don't really care too much. Alright. Let's see if the UI says we're good, and we are. So, I'm going to take a quick pause to get a drink, and we will rest while I'm doing that. Man, it is so funny having the track IR while streaming and having to take drinks and stuff, and you just seeing my camera tilt like I'm looking up at the light fixture on the side of the truck or something. Alright, let's get the truck back going. Let's clear our marker here, and we have got 339 more miles to go. And we're delivering to a Swift again. I think we also picked up from a Swift. So we're just dealing with Swift a lot today. The game's trying to tell me something. Alright, sorry, let me also just check my phone real quick. I just got a notification. Just want to be sure it's not important. And it is. It is my wife texting me, so give me just 1 second. Man, I gotta say, I had missed streaming as it was, you know, but now that I'm actually, you know, like back to doing it, I missed it a lot more than I thought. I am having a ton of fun. So, Daniel, thanks for hanging out, man. It's great to be able to chat with you and do this again. And I just realized that this now says 6 out of 12. So does it not actually have to be? No, it does. All jobs have to be 100 miles each. So I wonder if that one to Scottsbluff counted? Maybe I hadn't done a delivery to or from, where was I? Grand Island? No, I definitely did. Because the last delivery that I did was in Grand Island. Oh no, I started in Columbus today. I don't think I had delivered from Columbus. I think I had been through Columbus. So yeah, so that first one did count. Okay, cool. Alright, catching up on the chat too. Yeah, I agree, Daniel. Price makes sense. You know, I agree. Suspension setup, all that kind of stuff is pretty sick. It certainly has, you know, it's very technologically appropriate for what the car is supposed to be used for. So it is pretty cool, and I'm glad that you're having a fun time hanging out too, Daniel. It's been a ton of fun. And Mr. Pakistan, thanks for coming in, saying some stuff in the chat, even though I only understand the love from Pakistan. It's always cool when people from other continents, other countries, and stuff like that come in here and hang out. So thanks for stopping by, saying hi. And just because I don't know what you're saying and it could potentially be something inappropriate, Daniel, could you possibly delete those chats that aren't in English? And then Mr. Pakistan, I don't know if you do know English, if you could chat in English, that would be much appreciated. If not, no worries. I'd still appreciate that you're here. It's very hot over here. Sorry to hear that. It's also warming up over here as well. We've got like an 80-degree day today, so which again I know probably nowhere near as hot as over there, but for what our weather has been like recently, that is quite hot for us. So we've got AC going. It's definitely a warm day for us. So yeah, as far as ours go, it's also getting warm over here. I think we've got a couple 80 degree days coming up. And that's, of course, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, not Celsius. I'm sure probably over there you're using Celsius. Dude, what's up? It's good to see you. Thanks for stopping by the chat. Good to see you again. I know it's been a while since I've done a stream, but I know you've been here for almost every single one, so I'm glad that you were able to catch this one as well. Glad to see you here. Hope everything is going well for you. Again, I know it's been a while since we've actually been able to chat, so you know, glad you're here, and I've been seeing, you know, that you've still been supporting the channel and everything. So thanks for the constant support. It is much appreciated. Only 68 degrees a couple hours north. That's crazy. It's crazy that how different the temperature is, even just, you know, I guess it's probably more than a couple hours north, I think, Daniel, but you know, still, it's not crazy far. I think you're like maybe 8 hours north of me, so the fact that it's like 12 degrees cooler there is pretty crazy. So hot here, not even the AC's needing an AC to cool down the AC. Yeah, it definitely, there was a summer here a couple years ago where we hit like 120 degrees or something, and so running the ACs was actually making it hotter in the rooms. So I definitely feel your pain. Not right now, but you know, I have felt that pain before, and it is definitely not fun. So I'm sorry that that's how hot it is there, and hopefully it starts to cool down soon, or hopefully the ACs stop needing an AC, and you start the inception of ACs. Hopefully that ends soon, and hopefully you're staying cool, Mr. Pakistan. Hopefully you are staying in the shade or staying somewhere where the AC is kicking and you're staying safe. Definitely be drinking lots of water, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love from all the different countries. You guys are awesome. Again, it is always so cool when people from other continents and other countries jump in here and say hi and chat for a little bit. And Mr. Pakistan, I'm from Oregon. I'm from the U.S. Again, glad to have you guys here. Glad you're hanging out. Appreciate you guys jumping in the chat as well. Again, the more people I can chat with, the better. I love talking with you guys. That's one of the biggest reasons that I've missed streaming so much, and why I'm so happy to be streaming again now is to get to chat with you guys again. I have greatly missed it. 40 degrees Celsius, even at night it's 40 degrees Celsius. That's crazy. It's Friday morning there. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about the time difference. So you guys are way ahead. It's like Thursday evening for me. All right, that I want to stop at to get the video thing. But oh shoot, But that looked like it would be very hard to get into and out of with a trailer, so I will just get that another time. But yeah, 40 degrees Celsius even at night that's absurd. I'll tell you one thing, I could never live in Pakistan, that is for sure. World Cup's going over there in Dallas. Yeah, I don't pay attention to, I'm sure you probably call it football. So I don't pay much attention to that. That's like one of the few sports that I really like pay zero attention to, unfortunately. But yes, Dallas is in Texas, so that's quite a ways away from where I live. It's probably like 20 or so hours of driving, maybe even more. I guess it also depends on what part of Texas, but Dallas specifically I think is like 20 hours or something like that, so quite a ways. But yes, that is in our country. Saw you live just now and thought I'd jump in to say hello to my good old friend. Well, I certainly appreciate it. It's definitely great to see you here again, and again, I'm glad you're able to stop by. Gotta run, been a pleasure, of course, fun to hang out. Daniel, thank you so much, dude, for hanging out the whole time so far, and again, the stream's probably going to be ending here in the next 30 minutes or so, so you're not going to be missing much, man. I appreciate you being here, chatting the whole time that you were here, and hope the rest of your day goes great. And yeah, again, I don't think you will get back in time for the stream to still be going, so yeah, I plan to be streaming hopefully once a week, and I do also plan to continue uploading at least once a week, which I've been doing lately and I'm very happy with. I have a feeling what I'll probably end up doing is uploading videos for things like the American Truck Simulator Let's Play, the ACC Let's Play, and like vlogs and stuff like that. And then when I'm doing just random deliveries in ATS on my main profile, that's when I'll probably stream and stuff. So definitely more streams to come, Daniel, and I hope to see you in those. But until then, man, hope you have a great rest of your week as well, and hope you have a great weekend. Oh, not football, it's cricket going on there. Oh, got it. Okay. Interesting. I didn't know that there was like such big cricket events that happened in the US. That's cool. Good to know. Alright, we're slowing down here. Oh, I've actually already slowed down more than what the speed limit is. Speed limit is 45. Much love to you as well, and again, it's good to be live again. I'm very, very happy to be back, and I've missed it so much. Recording and uploading is great in its own way, but you know, getting to, oh shoot, I meant to split, and instead I did the range. Sorry, so I got distracted by the fact that I was missing my gears and stuff. But yeah, it's definitely good to be live again. I've missed it, and I know I keep saying that over and over again, but it's so great to chat with you guys. I'm not the best necessarily at interacting on like Instagram and stuff like that. I'm trying to get better. I just completely reworked my Instagram and my Twitter and stuff to hopefully encourage me to use them more. But aside from those things, I really don't interact too much aside from on the live streams, and I want to get better about that. So it feels good to be live streaming again, being able to interact and chat with you guys. English is awesome. Accent is incredible. American English rocks. Thank you so much. It's always funny, you know, having grown up here in America, and I've only ever visited like 2 other places, and neither of those places are places where they really have much of an accent. I mean, one of them is, I've been to Mexico, and obviously they've got a pretty heavy accent if they are able to speak English. But it's funny that, like, you don't, because you grow up hearing the same accent as what you have, you don't really view it as like, oh yeah, I don't have an accent, you know, like I speak with my tone and my way that it is, and like this is just normal, but it's not normal. There's nothing necessarily that is normal. Everybody has an accent. It's just where your accent's from. And yeah, so it's always funny hearing like, hey, you've got a cool accent, because to me, I don't have one, you know. So that's cool, and thank you, Mr. Pakistan. I really appreciate it. You had a Nissan last time I was here. If I'm not out of my mind, you're correct. I do still. I have a Nissan. I still have the Nissan. It's on storage insurance currently. I'm not driving it. Haven't driven it in a while. Transmission is having some issues, so money has been a bit tight, and haven't been able to afford it for, you know, a car that's not a priority. I have a separate car that I daily drive, which is a Mazda. So I've just been driving that. But that said, I do still have it. I do still have the Nissan. Alright, sorry. I had to really focus on my shifting there for a second. Yeah, definitely, Mr. Pakistan. It's always unique hearing somebody from a different country, you know. It's cool. I just love talking to people from other countries. It's awesome. It's awesome to hear about how different things are, and like I started watching a couple YouTubers that are from Ireland, and just seeing even how different things are over in Ireland as compared to here. It's just so cool. And yeah, the Altima is the one that I'm talking about. I do still have it, but yeah, I just don't drive it really anymore. I do plan to, but it's going to take a while, because again, just finances we need to get finances in order, and you know, just have some other priorities. The car is very much not a priority at all, unfortunately. As much as I would love for it to be, it's just not. And yes, I am the Amazon delivery man. Alright, I think we should be getting pretty close to our destination, but I could be wrong. I'll take a look at the UI here in a second. Oh, or actually, I think I've got a mod that adds the amount of time. Oh no, I guess it doesn't add it to this truck. Alright, never mind. I have a mod that changes one of the info screens on the truck to be one that shows the time, but I guess this truck doesn't have it added yet. So looks like we're still a little further away than I thought, so that's okay. I mean, that's good, actually. I was kind of hoping we weren't almost done. USA beat Pakistan in Cricket World Cup, played in Dallas yesterday. Pakistan's a strong team, but had a bad day. Yeah, always a case of win and lose. That's very true. That's the one thing that is both so great and so terrible about sports is when you win, it feels great, but when you lose, it can really feel terrible, especially in something like a World Cup, or, you know, a championship series or something like that. I mean, to make it that far and then lose is brutal. Thank you guys again for hanging out in the chat and actually, you know, talking with me. I greatly appreciate it. Like I said, that's my favorite part of the streams, so the fact that you guys are being active in the chat means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. If you guys have not already liked the stream, please do that as well. That helps bring other people in here, and hopefully we can get more people chatting. That's one of my favorite things about some of the people that I watch on Twitch and stuff is actually having chats with other people in the chat, you know, not just necessarily chatting with the streamer. And I would love for that to be something that you guys are able to do as well. You know, have enough people in here that you guys can actually chat with each other and get to know, you know, make new friends, know new people and stuff like that. It's so much fun. Thanks for the love. Gotta go. I see you somehow or somewhere. It's already 014. Oh boy. All right. Yeah, you definitely go get some rest or something. Again, I really appreciate you being here. Thanks for chatting. I'm so glad to see you again and happy you stopped by, man. Have a good night. A few players are from Indian descent. Interesting. So how does that work with like what country they represent? How to like or were the people of Indian descent, were they still born in Pakistan and that's why they're able to represent Pakistan in the World Cup? I would kind of assume that's how it is, but please correct me if I'm wrong. I love learning new things, and that is definitely a new thing for me to learn. Indian descent, I mean to say their parents are from India or ancestors are from India and they are born in the USA. Oh, okay. Got it. Interesting. So even with that being the case, though, they're able to represent a different place than their... I guess that makes sense. That's how it is with most sports, I guess. It's based on where you're born instead of, you know, like what your heritage is or what your descent is. Get an American passport, a green card. Got it. That makes sense. Permanent residency. Okay. So they don't have to be born here as long as they are considered a permanent resident of the country. They can represent them in the World Cup. That's interesting. That's cool. Again, let's see how far away now. 69 miles. 69. I'm such a child. Man, we're almost to 100 views in total on this stream. That is awesome. Thank you again for those of you that are viewing it now. I appreciate you guys being here. If you are enjoying the stream and you're not already subscribed, please consider doing so. I'm not going to force you to, obviously, because I can't. I mean, you're who knows how many thousands of miles away from me, so not really anything I can do if you say no. But, you know, if you're enjoying it, I feel like you should consider it, at least. Consider subscribing and maybe, you know, go down below and drop a like on the stream as well. They're both things are greatly appreciated and help the channel a bunch, so if you do either of those things, I greatly appreciate that as well. But even if you don't do those things, I still greatly appreciate that you're here, that you're taking some time out of your day to hang out with me. It means a lot. Look at former English cricket team players are from all around the world, united and playing for England. Interesting. I will have to take a look. Obviously can't right now because I'm driving, but I will definitely take a look when I get the chance, once I'm done with stream. I gotta get back over. This is an exit only. And we are not exiting yet. Oh, how funny. Just as earlier in the stream I was talking about how the AI doesn't stop to merge anymore. Here's a spot where they stop to merge. So I guess they haven't fully fixed it, but the AI is definitely getting better at merging, that's for sure. I mean, not entire team players. I'm not going to be able to say all those names, but former players, all these guys represent the English team. Gotcha. Gotcha. Alright, we're coming up to our exit, so that means we are almost done with our delivery. Little bit of lag. Hopefully it doesn't show through to you guys. Sometimes my game lags and the stream still looks smooth, so hopefully that is the case here. And I think we're gonna miss this light. Oh, I'm just gonna make it, actually. Sweet. Popping in again thanks to good old Android Auto. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're sort of back. I assume probably since you're using Android Auto, that means you're not going to be able to chat, but I appreciate that you're still dropping in to show some support and help out with the analytics side of things. It's much appreciated. We are probably going to be ending after we make this delivery, but again, appreciate you coming back. Alright, and this time I'm going to make sure I don't try and back in where the cones for the forklift are. But these cones look pretty much like what we're looking for. So I think we've got plenty of room to make a U-turn. And then we don't have to do a blindside back. Alright. I probably pulled way further forward than I needed to, but nothing better to do in a Costco parking lot anyway. Well, I appreciate that you're choosing to come in here instead of watching people as they try and load groceries into their cars. Oh, I didn't. I got underneath it at the right time and then screwed it up by overdoing it. But I think we're still going to end up pretty much perfect. Yep, that should be good right there. Pull the parking brake. Let's make sure, yep, we're all set. By listening to your English, I'm so slowly getting used to an American accent in case if I meet an American, I can understand them. I mean, I gotta be honest, if English is not your first language, which, based on what you're saying, it doesn't sound like it is, your English is pretty rock solid, man. You're definitely, I think you could easily hold a conversation with with an American if you were to meet them. I mean, I am an American and you're holding conversations with me, so yeah, you're well ahead of I think where you think you are. Oh boy, is that some entertainment. That or watch people at parking spots they've been patiently waiting for get stolen by some impatient person. Oh man, that is both the worst when it happens to you, but also hilarious watching it happen to other people. As terrible as it is pretty funny watching people get their spots stolen. Or watching them slowly park and thinking to yourself, I could park much faster. Yes, that is a huge one. Or especially when people like back into a parking spot or like try and parallel park. If they try and parallel park and then like give up, and you're like, dude, I could have done that. I could have easily done that if you would have just let me park your car for you. Thanks a lot for the appreciation. It means a lot. Yeah, of course. Again, I mean, just being honest, like your English is pretty solid. So, yeah, you're doing great. But all right, I think we are going to end the stream there. Let me see. I could do this delivery real quick. It's less than 100 miles. Or a little over 100 miles, I mean. I don't know, what do we think? Do I do one more delivery or do I just end the stream here? 100% people watching is fantastic. It really is. I love people watching. It's always so funny. Air conditioning units. Let me also check my phone, make sure there's nothing going on that... Okay, just got a text. I'll reply to the text while you guys decide if I should do one more delivery or not. Either or, I'll have to get driving soon, so it's all you, partner. Okay, and then timing for tomorrow's live stream. I will not be live streaming tomorrow. But again, next time I'll be live will most likely, if I do it, again, nothing is ever guaranteed when it comes to my channel, but if I do stream next week, it'll probably be on Wednesday. So I'll probably be streaming a little less than a week from today, and again, we'll see kind of how it goes, but ideally, I would like to stream every Wednesday if I can, at least for a few hours. That would be pretty sweet if I could do that. Daniel, thank you so much again for watching. Glad you were able to stop back in for a couple minutes, and hope you have a great rest of your day, man. Thank you so much. But yeah, so I think I am going to end the stream here. I've had a ton of fun. This was, again, even better than I expected it to be. But I think I am going to go ahead and end the stream here. I'm going to make sure to save my game. Oh, whoops. Going to make sure to save my game as well. Mr. Pakistan, thank you so much for subscribing. I so greatly appreciate it. I've been getting, I think I've gotten like 10 new subscribers or something in the last month. So if any of you that are watching are new subscribers, thank you so much as well for subscribing recently. It is much appreciated. And yeah, again, I think I am going to end the stream here. So Mr. Pakistan, since you're the only person left that is actively chatting, a special thank you to you for talking in the chat and hanging out for a bit. I really do appreciate it. And again, thank you for subscribing as well. I hopefully will see you in the next stream. And for anyone else that is just watching, whether you're watching this back or watching this live but aren't in the chat, I do greatly appreciate you watching as well. And hopefully I will see you guys in the next stream. And I'll definitely be looking forward to it. So that's going to do it for me. That's going to do it for the stream. And I hope you guys have a good one. Peace.